Hi, I'm Maureen Kiley. I'm the founder of the South Shore Local Directory and Community Hub. And this is one of our business spotlight meetings. And I have the honor here of having Ann Van Ann here from, she actually does quite a few things. So I'm going to let her talk about that. But this is get to know the owner behind a business video. And it's an interview that we just kind of talk and have a great time learning about another fantastic local business. So, Ann, thank you for taking the time out today to meet with me. And I am really excited to talk about who you are, what you do, how you belong in this community. What do you do for people? So let's first start with you telling everyone that's watching this video a little bit about yourself on the personal side, and then we'll get into the business. So share with us just where you're from, what you like to people to know about you on a personal level.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Maureen. And thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited to be part of this community. I'm actually originally from Colorado. I was born and raised there. And then I was married age 20, and I lived in a number of different states, everywhere from California to New Jersey and several states in between. But I finally settled over here in Apollo Beach, Florida. Been here now for 9 years, and I love this area. I'm a big fan of the beach, so I frequent Anna Maria Island on a regular basis. I have 2 children. My daughter will be 40 in 2 weeks. And then my son is 35. He turned 35 last April, and he's in IT, and my daughter's a nurse practitioner. So I was married for 22 years. I have been divorced now for 21 and found my way in corporate America for a number of years. And I loved that part of my life, but I will tell you, it really prevented me from getting to know people in my community. So I made a change last year, and I'm so grateful for that. And it's been pivotal for me.
Okay. And don't you have someone who has longevity in their life, in your life? Who is that person?
I do. She has actually been the wind beneath my wings. It's my mother, and she is 96 years old. She will be 97 in October. And let me just share a little bit of background about her. But she was left with 4 kids when I was a year old, and she raised my 3 older brothers and myself all by herself in the 60s, which was almost unheard of. And she's an amazing woman, very strong and very healthy, I might add. And I feel like I've actually had part of the ability to be able to bring good health to her and also quality of life. She just gave up driving last year, and she still lives independently. And she is just one of my best friends, and we get together frequently for lunch and shopping, and we see each other several times a week. So she's just precious.
That's awesome. And that's going to tie into some of the wellness things we're going to talk about. So tell me about what you do and what your passion is right now.
So Maureen, I actually have been in the health and wellness industry for 20 plus years. It started actually in Dallas, Texas, when I lived there. And I came across a company that really, it changed my life. They offered nutritional supplements. And what I realized was once I started taking those supplements, I felt so much better. And it actually was a product that also helped me lose weight. I was very tired and just feeling very sluggish. And I was introduced to this company and this product by my doctor. So that's kind of a unique experience simply because that was 20 some years ago. And most doctors don't really focus on the nutritional side. So from there, I actually have done a number of other I guess I would say companies or represented other nutritional companies. And now I actually am repping for 2 companies. One is called 3 International, and the other one is called LifeWave. And LifeWave is actually a phototherapy patch that our flagship product is called X39, and it is really age reversing. It's not anti-aging, it's age reversing, because here's what we know. When people get into their 60s, almost half of their stem cells become dormant. So what the patch does, it actually rejuvenates and activates the dormant stem cells, which helps to build collagen. You can actually feel better. You can look younger because you're building collagen. And I've been wearing that patch now for 5+ years. So has my mother, who's 96. She was started wearing it for some health related issues. And keep in mind, we do not make medical claims, but we can't argue with the results. So she had great results health wise. And that's why I started wearing it as well. 3 International is another company that provides nutritional products that dissolve at the cellular level. What really intrigued me, Maureen, about this company and some of the products that they offer is the fact that most of the products are listed and welcomed into the PDR. For those who are not familiar with the PDR, that is used to be called prescribers, I'm sorry, it used to be called physician's desk reference. It's now actually called prescriber's digital reference because, right, everything has gone digital today. So when you go to the doctor and you say you have a certain ailment, that doctor will go to the PDR to find out what medication they want to prescribe. And only a handful, Maureen, of nutritional companies are actually listed in the PDR. So that lent a lot of credibility to me, saying if it's listed in the PDR, there must be, this must be an incredible product to be able to compete, right, with big pharma. So last year, I was actually on a GLP-1 and I wanted to lose weight. I just had become kind of sluggish, overweight, some high cholesterol, went on the GLP-1, and what resulted was I nearly ended up in the ER. I got very sick, had a number of different side effects, and I realized that I was jeopardizing my health at the cost of about $350 a month. So I opted for a natural product that is actually promoted by 3 International. It is called GLP-3. It's all natural drops, sublingual. You just put drops under the tongue, so there's no synthetic injection. And it's actually peptides derived from salmon, mushrooms, and we also have saffron, ginseng, and hops ingredients, and a little splash of peppermint. And you can take it twice a day, and it helps with craving control, helps with food noise. And there's a number of other benefits too, such as a lot of people say they sleep better, but the benefits are enormous, and it's changed my life. And I hope that I can continue to help people change theirs as well with this product.
All right. So, Anne, we met on Facebook. Okay, so I'm looking for businesses, right, that are amazing and people to connect with. And what was really strange is that you and I were talking a little bit on DM, but then we connected through an individual that you met in Dallas, that I met in Seattle. And we've known this woman who was amazing mentor for me. And we can mention her, Deborah Fizzer. I'll send her this little video maybe. And so that connection brought us together, and we've now become friends, and we're doing some amazing things in the South Shore area. So I'm going to let you tell everybody what we're doing with the Wellness Connected, because that's kind of your baby. That's your industry, right? So we're bringing in South Shore, we're bringing these businesses together. But talk to everybody about what we're going to do with the Wellness Collective.
So thank you, Maureen, for that intro with also Deborah Fisser. Can I just say that that's actually the company that I was with, that Deborah Fisser was the VP of sales of in Dallas when I met her. And I'm so grateful that we had that connection, because I feel like that was a divine appointment. So the Wellness Collective is something that's really unique. And I think it, Maureen, is something that's much needed in our community. I think a lot of people today are really taking a closer look at not just Western medicine, but also maybe perhaps questioning their doctors with the prescriptions that they're taking, and, you know, just their overall health and wellness. What does that look like? And so I think that it's going to be great that we've partnered together on this Wellness Collective. We will be hosting on a monthly basis an opportunity for people to become educated and informed on many different subjects such as, why certain foods that you eat might affect your vision, or, something as simple as the GLP-1s. If people are taking a GLP-1, why am I experiencing hair loss? I mean, there's going to be a lot of different speakers that we're going to be having present. We'll also have chiropractors, people that are, estheticians, people that are maybe promoting essential oils. But it's all in order to be able to present and provide information to people who are concerned about their overall health and wellness, and how they can make better choices, right, in their health, and perhaps have a better quality of life. So many people today, right, are struggling with, their weight and not having any energy and inflammation. And we'll be able to address so many different topics, even a cookbook that I believe that you're actually in the process of writing. So we'll have a number of different speakers on a monthly basis, and I'm super excited about this, to bring this to our community, and then perhaps even expand it, down the road in the future with even more businesses that are, related to wellness. And our first meeting will actually be Tuesday, June 23rd. It'll be in Mira Bay at the Lagoon Room. It will start at 6 o'clock from 6 to 7:30, and we'll have presenters, and then we'll open up for Q&A, and we'll have some time for people to mingle. But I think it's going to be a great opportunity for people to get together in our community, to meet other business owners, and, just become more focused on the choices that we're making to, again, have a better quality of life. It's all about that.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about some things that you've seen. You have some testimonials about Three's GLP-3, right? Some people that that got on the product immediately, correct? So
I
do you
do.
want to share with anyone some examples of what this product does?
Sure. I actually have a cousin that lives in Western Nebraska. She's a single mom, two small children, and she's overweight, and she reached out to me. And the funny part is actually, I've never met her. She's actually part of my ex-husband's family. So you must be doing something right when the ex-husband's cousin calls you for advice. So she reached out via Messenger, and, I listened to her, because what I wanted to do was to be able to provide a solution for her to have a better quality of life. She's not been happy with the way she looks, and I could relate, because, Maureen, I've been there. And my heaviest weight, I was 172. On the GLP-3 drops, I've actually dropped 10 pounds, but about 12 inches all total since February 19th, which is pretty significant. I don't have a huge weight loss story here. So I did present these products to this gal, and she got started. So within 30 days, she sent me her testimony. She had lost 7.4 pounds. She had lost 12 inches. Think about that for a minute. That's a lot of inflammation that she's lost, and she's super excited. She actually has a scale that measures, if she's lost muscle. She had not lost any muscle. She actually had maintained her muscle. It showed all of her numbers were either had been maintained or they had been lowered if they needed to be lowered. And so the visceral fat, that was a reduction for her. So she was super excited, and she's starting to share that with other family and friends. And it really is so important to know, Maureen, that people aren't transactions. I'm looking for people to have results. That's important to me. And when I know that I have impacted a person's life for the better, I know then that her children will have a healthier mom. She'll have a better quality of life. And that really is so fulfilling to me, because I'm passionate about what I do, and I want to help others, and I have a servant heart. And that's really important to know, that I am impacting lives. Doesn't matter what state you live in, everywhere from the East Coast to the West Coast. And that is probably the most fulfilling thing about the role that I serve in, is just the fact that I can help other people.
That's great. And so what do you think the best product that you've experienced and people have experienced with LifeWave that you've been in this? Because you've been in that a long time.
I have.
So
Yeah.
Do you have any examples for LifeWave products?
I do. I will say this. I think the X39 is probably, because it's our flagship product, it is probably the number one product that we sell. What I love about the LifeWave product is all encompassing. And so I will share this story only because it's true. And I'm not going to make a medical claim, but I will share with you that 5 years ago, when I was introduced to the X39 patch, I was introduced to it by a gentleman in Colorado who was a retired police officer. He brought a sleeve of X39 patches to me. He brought a sleeve of X39 patches to my mother. She was living with me at the time because it was during COVID. Now, my mother at that time, 92 years old, she has experienced severe neuropathy. And again, we're not making medical claims here, but I will tell you, with her being on that X39 patch, within 3 weeks, she came out of her bedroom and she had tears in her eyes. And I said, Mom, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And she said, you're not going to believe this, but I can feel my feet. And so I knew then, Maureen, that we were onto something. The innovation and the technology in the phototherapy patches is phenomenal. This is a global company as well. And with people hearing more and more about LifeWave, how it's transforming their some of their ailments that they have, I mean, it's incredible. It's giving people more energy. Again, people are looking younger. If you saw a picture of my mom, you would not believe that she looks 96. She actually probably looks more like she's in her early 80s, and the energy that she has is incredible. My brothers tell me all the time, you know what, if it hadn't been for you sharing some of these health and wellness products with Mom, she probably wouldn't be here. And you know what? I have to agree. I think that's true because she's just living proof of the benefits that she's received from the X39. Now, I will say that at the time, I didn't have any ailments. But because I saw what my mom had experienced, I knew then that I needed to be on the X39 too. So we've both been wearing it for, it is now 5 years since last April.
Wow, that's amazing. And I have a friend who's doing it too, and for sleep. So she's doing something with the sleep, I had heard, and it's amazing. A lot of people rave about it. Now, wasn't it based on some kind of NASA technology or something?
Well, the patches actually has nanocrystals and amino acids and water in it. It is phototherapy, so nothing penetrates the skin. It would be almost like you actually went outside and got vitamin D naturally from the sun. But the original patch, the very first patch that David Schmidt actually introduced, actually came from the military asking for something to be developed for our Navy SEALs, that they wanted something for the Navy SEALs so that they could perform better and have more energy and more stamina, but they didn't want anything that had a stimulant in it. So David Schmidt actually created a product called the Energy Enhancer. It's actually 2 patches. It's a tan patch and it's a white patch. So you wear the tan patch on one side and the white patch on the other. Tan on the left, white on the right. And my testimony for that patch is that I went to a conference last October, 3-hour time change, because I was in Anaheim, California. And I will tell you, I wore that patch, those patches, and I had incredible energy. In fact, even 11 o'clock out on the West Coast, I couldn't believe it. I still had energy. I wasn't even tired. So that is my testimony with that patch. But that was the one that was introduced because of the Navy SEALs. And I believe they still wear that today. Now, I will speak to the sleep patch because we have one that's incredible. One is called Silent Nights. It's specifically for sleep. A lot of people find great value in it. The one that I wear is actually called Alavita, and it is a patch that helps with skin and sleep. So it's a patch that actually a lot of estheticians even use it because it kind of helps to rebuild the collagen and it helps with sleep. And I wear it right here. There's a couple places you can wear it, but I wear it at night before I go to bed. And I'm telling you, the sleep is very deep and it's been life-changing for me.
Wow. Okay. So this is a lot of good nuggets, and a lot of good nuggets for people. So what else do you want to talk about in regards to 3? Because they have something called a clinical dossier, right? And just for full transparency, I'm taking the GLP-3 as well, and I'm measuring. That's what I'm doing. So I'm measuring, and I'm gonna every month measure. I'm not measuring every week, but because I don't think the change would happen that fast for me. But for some people that are overweight significantly, I bet they'd see faster changes just because that's the nature of losing weight, correct? So this clinical document I put through Chat GPT. So anyone that's watching this video needs to reach out to Anne and get that little, because it's complicated, right? And when you read it, I was like, oh, maybe I should just take pictures of this and put it in Chat GPT and treat me like an 8th grader and tell me and explain the clinical research that they provided. And that's one of the things that impressed me about 3 was that they do have some very good documentation and clinic. They didn't post in the clinical dossier. They didn't say how many people were in that study. Okay. But do you find that their products are very well documented? And when people tell people on this video, like kind of some background on what they provide people when they purchase the product or they want to research the product?
Yeah, so actually, we are very open about the research that we provide actually on all of our products. And, obviously the GLP-3 is our flagship product. It was just released in January. I will say this, our company has grown over 700% since January, and we're actually in 14 different countries. So we are global. But that one product has just taken us to a whole new level. And I believe, Maureen, that we are going to revolutionize the weight loss industry as we know it with that one product. So that being said, yes, the clinical dossier, we have research on all of our products at 3, and we can send them out to anyone who requests them. We have a number of different products. We've got the Revive, which helps with the inflammation. We've got Immune that helps to build your immune system. And that's a really great product for people who constantly find themselves, being sick throughout the winter months or just constantly fighting colds, bronchitis, and things of that nature. Just boosts up your immune system. We have a great product called Kinetic. It's actually a fabulous energy drink, but it's also a drink that helps replace your electrolytes. So that's important too, especially for those of us that live in Florida or for anyone really now with summer fast approaching. We just released a new flavor. It's berry flavored. It's available this week. I've actually already placed my order, and you just put it into a bottle of water, shake it up, drink it. Sustained energy, a little bit of caffeine, and not much, but enough to just kind of give you a little bit of, lifts the brain fog, things of that nature. But it's a great product. We have research on all of these different products in our at our disposal in our back office. So if anyone wanted any information on any of the products that we provide, I'd be happy to send that over to them. The clinical research dossier is important, and the reason I say that is this. A lot of the products today that are on the market that are with health and wellness companies just simply aren't researched. And what's in the product doesn't really match what they say is in the product. So there's a lot of controversy there. But the fact that we are in the PDR, I'll go back to that reference one more time. The fact that we're in the PDR clearly tells the medical community that what we have in the product works, and we've got the research to document and back it up. Now I'm going to say this too. GLP-3 or any of our products, they're not magic pills and they're not magic drinks. There has to be a little bit of discipline on our end, right, to be able to get success. I want to make sure people understand that, because so many times people try a product for a week and they say, you know what, it just didn't work. Well, you know what, that product really tried you because you really didn't give it a chance. What I tell people is to set reasonable expectations. Make sure you take the product for 90 days. As instructed, make sure that you continue to follow up with the person that introduced you to that product so that you're going to get the results that you're looking for. Now, if you're not getting the results you're looking for, we might need to understand better about what kind of foods you're eating. When are you taking the product? How are you taking the product? And then also, are you moving? Because really, at the end of the day, it's kind of like a three-legged stool. We need nutrition, we need a good, healthy, balanced diet, and we need to be able to move. And especially women my age, 63 now, weight training, resistance training is very important. It's actually more important than cardio. So I would just tell women out there, if you can walk at least 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day, if you can do some weight training at least 3 to 4 times a week, eat a good balanced meal. I always say Sunday's my cheat day. I mean, if I want to have a hamburger or if I want to have, a piece of cake, I do it on Sunday. That's the day that I kind of cheat. because we're really not about a diet. We're really about lifestyle changes. And so if you tell someone they can't ever have something, then they're going to want it even more. But if you say, hey, you know what, reserve that for a special day in the week. Maybe you're going to a party, or maybe you're going to a wedding. Have that special cake or special whatever it is that you want. Have it on that day. But pick just one day a week where you're actually going to have a cheat day. And then the rest of the days, for 6 days a week, try to eat as good as you can, as healthy as you can. I say it's an 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, we should be eating pretty good. 20% of the time, well, you know, we can kind of select what we want.
It's perfect. I love that. And I'm doing the weights and I'm walking. So, but eventually I'll be back into my running again. So I love cardio though, because it's good for the heart. And I just get those endorphins when I run. So, but Anne, thank you very much for taking the time out. I would like everyone to know that in the description of these videos that we're going to have Anne's information. But also, Anne, why don't you tell everybody how is the best way to get a hold of you?
I would say the best way, Maureen, is probably either by phone. My number is 972-740-6369. It is a Texas number because I lived there for 18 years and I just can't give up that number, Maureen. And then the other way would be my email, which is ann@droptheshots.com. And for my website, you can go to droptheshots.com for any information on 3 International. And then for LifeWave, you can go to annvanan.com, and that's all the information you'd want for the LifeWave patches.
All right. Thank you.